they come out with here in their first game, because I mean they have a group of guys that have only really been together for about 10 days and very limited FIBA experience on this squad.
Yeah, and you look at the experience and the resume of Bill Self. He's one of the greatest coaches, but still not necessarily walking in here with so much confidence. Like you said, first game for everybody, and going against Dominican Republic, where almost all of these guys play high school or prep school in the States. They are not walking in here scared of the USA, so I'm excited to see the tone that gets set immediately from both teams.
Gone are the days of players, in awe of Team USA.
Well,
everybody, but everybody feels like, this is their opportunity, and with so many college coaches in attendance at this tournament and watching online, it's an opportunity to show that you can hang.
It certainly is, and like you said, it's I think teams are coming in a bit more less in awe, like you said, of playing the USA, but still very respectful of what they're going up against. Of course, the #1 team for quite a while. I mean, it's US is good basketball. It's great basketball.
And now we're going to take a short break for the national anthems.
We ask you to please stay on your feet for the national anthem of the United States of America. The teams will now follow international basketball protocol by exchanging gifts and shaking hands.
One of the shows of sportsmanship that goes along with FIBA basketball is the two teams exchange gifts with one another. A lot of these coaching staff and training staff do know each other, as you mentioned. I mean, the majority, I guess all but one of the Dominican Republic squad actually play their high school basketball in the United States. So there's a lot of connections between the two teams if it's not player to player, training staff to training staff, coaches to coaches.
there you get a look at the officials for tonight.
They've done a great job so far through 2 games. I thought they kept things in check, and no egregious complaints from either of the coaches such far.
Yeah, pretty smooth, but knock on wood. I hope you didn't just jinx us there, Jason. They have been doing a fantastic job.
So far today, we had Ecuador coming out building a huge lead against Chile, which would have shocked everybody. But it was Chile came out on top, then Canada came out on top. You're taking a look at the USA roster. A lot of players to look at in this one. Cole Anthony is an electric point guard. And while the US in the past have had, I guess you want to say star power even at this age group, this team may not have one player that stands out over the rest, but they have a multitude of players who can kill you from every position.
And you look at the starting 5, but like you just said, if these guys don't perform or kind of come out ready to go, I wouldn't be surprised if you go to the bench quickly, because like you said, it's just such a strong rotation.
And a lot of guards, wings. I mean, Bill Self has actually run a couple of 4-guard setups in some of their practices, and it's playing to their strengths, but I think at the same time it may allow some of these other teams to hang around because they may not be beat up by the size down low. But don't get me wrong, there's still some solid size for Team USA.
Starting lineup for the Dominican Republic, and you definitely want to key in on Alonzo Frink and Lester Quinones, who are both highly recruited. Well, Frink is signed with Frank Martin at USC, and Quinones is high major recruit, so maybe a little opportunity here to play for Bill Self from Kansas on the other side. And there's always that element too of the game, especially with U18s. You get a lot of guys who are juniors and looking for opportunities to show their skills.
You're taking a look there at Alonzo Frink. He was the star of the Central Basket U17 Championship squad that the Dominican Republic won on their own home soil. He averaged over 18 points per game and almost 8.5 rebounds per game. And then in that U16 FIBA Americas tournament, he also averaged 18 a game. So, I mean, you know where the offense is going to come from. And, I mean, I don't think there's anybody on this Dominican team that's afraid to put it up. You're going to see shots coming from everywhere on the floor.
Yeah. Like you said, with so many of these Dominican players playing in the U.S. already, they're going to come in ready to go.
Take a look at Victor Hansen, former player for the Dominican Republic, now coaches in the professional ranks down in the DR. And I think that's what you see, obviously, with every team in this tournament. Former players now moving into the coaching side, now coaching teams that they maybe didn't have the opportunity to play on because the youth age group competitions weren't around back then. So it's an opportunity for them to get started even younger, and that's why FIBA started all this up, to try to get these players involved in national systems early. You see Dominican Republic ready to get out and match up with their USA counterparts. You're going to see some electric players for Team USA, but that's what Bill Self said. We need to move the ball. The one thing that he has been pushing all these guys is make that extra pass.
Well, immediately you look at the lineup, and the DR has got some size advantage on US, which is strange to say, right? This US team, they're going to look to run and gun, get up and down quick in transition.
And we are underway, game 3 of day 1. Thank you for joining us on FIBA's YouTube channel. There's Frink. Early turnover.
But what you do see off that is the attack from Frink. He's not scared to go one-on-one. Maybe should have looked to turn the corner and finish.
And you hear the Dominican bench. They are amped up early. A clean strip. Rafael Rubel. And a steal back the other way. Instant elevation.
and full court pressure. Again, talk about setting the tone, coming out high energy. You get in enough offense players' face and you play that high pressure D.
That was Tyrese Maxey. Full of charisma, that kid. He's on his way to the University of Kentucky. Wing three, no good. Dominican comes down with the rebound. Rebel turns it over. That's 3 straight turnovers for the Dominican Republic. And there's 3 bigs on this USA squad, and that's Matthew Hurt. He's the best passing and best shooting big man on this squad.
You'd say 3 bigs. Well, a big steps out and hits a 3 like that. That's really encouraging for USA, and that's kind of the way the game's going, right? You're getting now 5s, 4s, and even 3s consistent from the line.
Quinones, deep 3. Had to beat the shot clock. Get nothing but the backboard. And there we go. That's going to be key for the Dominican, putting the body on the line. That's Lester Quinones stepping in to draw the charge. We were begging for this in the last game. We finally got one just a couple minutes into the third.
Yeah, and it was a nice hard take from Grimes, but Quinones wins the battle, establishes position first.
Quinones. That's encouraging for the Dominican Republic. After 3 empty possessions, they open the scorebooks on their side. Cole Anthony, one of those electric players for Team USA. Grimes. Robinson Earl. Set back by Soriano. Rebel off the Frink screen. Ooh, Rebel got the mismatch. Passes it up. Wing 3, no good. Soriano got away with a push. What a waste of an offensive rebound. He's stepping back out and trying to pull up that jumper.
Yeah, it's a 14-second shot clock, but you can certainly get something, a good look out of 14 seconds.
Yeah, it's shorter than 24, but you still got 14. Oh, Quinones. Rebel. Corner 3's good. Dominican Republic ain't scared.
No, that's a ball side pass out, so stun stay, but you have to be there on the catch if you're USA defensively.
Good defense, but that's a foul. Going to line looking for the 3-point play is Cole Anthony. Taking a look at Anthony class of 2019. Out of New York, New York. You know the history of New York point guards. Hurt. Offensive rebound and putback. Guess he'll take that off of this free throw.
An and 1, that's the way you want to finish. Another 2-point, that's a 4-point possession.
Frank asking it for in the post, but does not have good position. Bell, no good. Everybody there to rebound for the USA. They're pushing it back the other way. Grimes, kick out. Anthony, no good. Out ahead of the play, Quinones taking it at the defenders. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
When you look at the confidence of Quinones, that's a 1-on-2. But you know what, of all the players on this Dominican roster, he probably has the greenest light to do that because of how good he is.
17 years of age. You have to think that this is some amazing experience for a kid his age, and Kobe White's first off the bench for head coach Bill Self. Said he'd probably get 10 guys in the first half and shorten that up to 8 in the second half.
It's really tough, I'm assuming, to coach in these tournaments 6 games in 7 days, and you want to come out and you want to get into your rotation right away, but you also have that in the back of your mind that you can't afford to really burn guys too much in game 1. You still got to win it though.
You know, it's unique to any basketball that these players have ever played when it comes to these FIBA tournaments. Like, it's really unmatched anywhere. Even in the NCAA tournament, you don't have this. Everyone says the NCAA, you know, one and done and sudden death, but you're still not playing the amount of games that these guys are right now.
Matthew Hurt with a nice offensive rebound. But what was wonderful about that possession was the ball movement. Quick, crisp passes, and it led to the open three and a nice weak side crash. And Hurt is rewarded with 2 free throws.
That's the roll on the first. Hurt from Minnesota. 6'9", power forward, getting a lot of looks.
Including Kansas, and you can see why right out of the opening quarter here.
Ooh, got a piece, but not enough. Matthew Erasme gets 2, and these are the turnovers Bill Self was worried about.
Kobe White had a nice lane to the hoop, but tried to clear a little bit of space. Hey, you got to drop that inside arm, lean in, go for the and one.
Quinones, interesting that he's brought it up literally every time, despite having other guards on the floor. USA back the other way. Maxey. 10 on the shot clock. USA has burnt a lot of clock doing nothing. And again, Joel Soriano, the eraser at the rim.
A whole lot of blocks both ways for both teams. Guys really protecting that rim. And a little bit of blood on the leg, so that's going to force a substitution for Rafael Rubel.
Dominican Republic players falling over each other to get into this game.
Oh yeah,
like,
well that's
literally.
a good, chomping at the bit.
Carlos Carrella checks in.
And it's another example, Kobe White trying to extend, but against good shot blockers, not necessarily the best thing to do, showing that ball. You almost try to seek some contact and get some free throws if you're going up.
Quinones, Frink, backing down, Hurt. Ooh, just muscling him down low. Comes down with it.
And you see the strength of Frink, wow, and US is lucky because he hasn't necessarily come out as strong as he wants, but that's a big finish.
Oh, and Soriano offensive rebound. Looking down the side there at Coach Bill Self. Team USA nursing a 1-point lead. Carrella. Gets himself to the baseline, stepped out of bounds. Possession to USA. Cole Anthony calling out the play. Hurt, faked the screen and pops out, drops it.
Well, the Dominican Republic, they're going to have to adjust and get out now. Hurts hit some too wide open, a little too easy. Obviously shown he's capable of hitting that consistent.
Oh, Soriano, and a little give and go. Interesting foul call. It looked like Quinones got hooked on the rim, and I don't know, it might have been a foul on the body.
We'll take a look here at it. This is Cole Anthony they're calling with the body. And
maybe got him on the arm.
The blocks have been fun, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, when you swing at the ball, it's kind of something that officials will look for.
Oh no, just the worst thing if you're a head coach to see that.
Someone's got to get the shooter.
Oh, Team USA just a little sloppy, and they only got 8 seconds to get it over, but not a problem there. Ooh, hard fall.
That's Kobe White. Yep. Yeah, you heard the smack on the ground. You saw the speed of him, though, to get that deep into the paint. And actually, Argentina stepped up to take the charge, and you see him adjust his body in the air, going full speed. Yeah, he really snapped his head back there.
Bill Self saying he's going to take out the shooter if he hits the second one here. Also on the bench with him, Anthony Grant from University of Dayton and Danny Manning, former first overall pick back in '88. Also an Olympian with Team USA was Danny Manning. Got brought back to Kansas where he played collegiately. Bill Self brought him back in and now has him on the staff here for the Under-18 FIBA Americas Championship. A little pressure from the U.S. Razmé has just 10 on the clock, pulls up. And this is where Team USA wants to make their hay, getting out in the open floor. A little too much juice on that one. In transition, Quinones. A lot of rim on these three-point shots. Dominican Republic with a little too much iron in their diet in the early going. Still down just 3. They're letting them play out here. The Sun move gets it to go. Frank, he has all kinds of size. You can touch it when it's on the rim, but you're not allowed to go up through the rim with your hand, but that basket went through anyways.
Yeah, when Frank touches the ball in the paint, if you're Argentina, you'd like to think something good's going to happen. Nice
dish, but no finish. Dominican's gonna get it back. This has been a dream first quarter for the Dominican Republic. It's the only other thing that head coach Victor Hansen would like to see. A couple more of these three-pointers to drop. The Dominican would be in the lead right now.
Well, there's a look at the young man there, Frank, who's made some monster finishes, but they want more from him. And as soon as he finds his rhythm, and that's a credit to US for coming out and playing tough defense on him, but they've got to sustain that the whole game because you see his ability to explode and get to the rim.
Oh, Rubel, nice cross-court pass. Dominican just ice cold from range right now. Grimes, pull-up 3. Both teams just don't have their legs underneath them yet. Armando Bacot Jr. checks in for the first time. With the Sun move picking up Rubel in full court. Oh, Dominican gets it back. Only 8 on the clock, though. They're going to have to manufacture something. That's the guy you get it to is Frank. Tough pass. Could not be handled. USA gets it back. Cashing it. Jumper's good. Quentin Grimes.
You just see the speed in which the U.S. advances the ball off of missed shots or turnovers. They're just flying down the court.
Under a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Maxi Dina Parazmi. Back the other way. Grimes. Maxi, entry pass. Crisp passing from USA, and that'll get them to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, one-on-one, let the big boys play a little too. We've seen a lot of threes, but I like when the big boys play around.
It's Armando Bacot Jr. That's Bill Self's true old school big man.
Yeah, one-on-one, a little patience dig, 1-2, nice spin. Now, I would have liked if he went clearly up with his left hand, because then I think you're looking at an and one. It looked like he went up with two.
Big caught with some heavy hitters after him, including Kansas, Duke, UNC, Georgetown.
That's a lot of pressure. You get selected to this team, and you want to get recruited by one of the best teams in the country. And you got to perform. It's like day in, day out training camp. You get to these games, there's a big steal there, and boom, the other way. Yeah, that's going to happen a little bit. Layup city or dunk city. Got to protect the ball.
It's Josiah James dropping the hammer in transition. So it's taken almost a full 10 minutes for the USA to be able to get out the open court alone. So again, if the Dominican Republic had just hit a few more of their long-range bombs, it would be a closer game than it is, but I'm sure they're still happy to only be down 8 right now.
That foul on Ayo Dosunmu, who will be attending the University of Illinois under Brad Underwood next year.
Antonio Bonilla misses the first. Pure on the second, 8 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Grimes, pull up, no good.
At the end of the first quarter,
21-14 for Team USA, but you look at the body language of the Dominican Republic, and I think that they're okay where they are, still within striking distance against the top-ranked basketball nation in the world, the United States of America, who have a 53-2 all-time record at this tournament, have won 8 of the last 10 gold medals in the U18 FIBA Americas Championship.
Yeah, there's a certain level of expectation for these guys when they step onto this court. And you look at the first quarter stats there. 1 for 9 from the 3 for Dominican Republic, and a couple of them weren't bad shots. A couple of them I thought were a little contested.
You know, the U.S. was only 2 of 7 from downtown. I think that was the biggest thing, was the USA seems to have a lot of players that are good at creating their own shot from range, but maybe not on the catch and shoot.
You saw Dominican Republic with 6 turnovers in the first quarter, and I can guarantee that's something that's being talked about in their huddle, because a lot of those turnovers led to easy buckets the other way. And when you're playing a team like the United States that are athletic and quick and smart and powerful, yeah, if you turn it over, you're giving something up most of the time, and 6 1/4 is unacceptable for the Dominican Republic.
Once again, we're at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario.
And Matthew Hurt with 10 points in that first quarter keeps that pace. That would be nice, huh? A 40-pointer in their opening game.
Yeah, and maybe not the guy you would think would be the leading scorer after the opening quarter. We knew that he had the ability to do that, but I guess is Team USA taking what they had? I mean, they were sent back at the rim a couple of times by Joel Soriano. So they moved to that outside game, and Hurt was the guy who could get it going on a couple of pick and pops.
Yeah, 6 of those 10 points are from nice looks at the 3, but then also just out hustling underneath the hoop around the rim. And that's how you impress that man right there.
He looks
Coach
very
Bill
impressed.
Self. Well, with Matthew Hurt, he probably is. A whole lot of hustle in that first quarter.
Well, I think Bill Self is going to have a level of concern up until this tournament's done. And there's Baycott down low with 2. Quinones now battling for position down low, back up top, Frank. Interesting how easily Frank has been able to back people down.
Well,
And he ends up having the rock, you know, at the top of the key.
Well,
Is that where you want him?
And well, that time you see him face up, but you saw the offense, and it looked hey, give Frank the ball, and everyone else kind of just let him go, which was interesting that they also gave him that look off the bounce. But he got to the rim and he initiated contact. And there it is there, you see the open space. And where Dominican Republic maybe has to be a bit more concerned is when Frank has the ball, the other guys, they gotta keep moving. They can't just stand there and watch him work. That time he drew some contact.
Maxey, catch and shoot, no good. Yeah, especially with Team USA, you don't want to allow their defense to be able to converge and use their athleticism and length, and here they are pushing back the other way. Tough pass. The Sun move was not going to be able to do anything with that.
Dominican Republic a little lucky because again, that was off a turnover.
Rebel. Quinones running off the screen. Ooh, threw that one in.
And that's great defense from the U.S. because Quinones he caught that ball so far off the three. He's not in a scoring position. They continue to apply pressure. Gets a little bit flustered, chucked it right out of bounds. So that's a big pat on the back for the defensive effort from the United States.
Sun move. Cole Anthony. Nice ball movement, but Armando Bicat Jr. just tapped his own chest saying that was on me. Quinones. Gonna get used to saying that name today.
Yeah, all week.
Good point. Frank. He's behind the back, step back. First time seeing Alonzo Frank, obviously. I'm just curious if, if he does have that in his game, that's great. I just don't know if that's what you want to see from him in this situation.
Not his strength, I'd say.
Even if it is, like, you don't, like, what we saw from him earlier, he just backed down everybody who they put on him.
He's so strong. Probably the strongest guy on the court, and you want to put him in the position to be successful when he catches the ball. And I'm not sure a face-up three is consistently the best look for him.
I don't know. We were talking, it's only been 10 days this Team USA squad's been together, and there's a 5-second violation. Both teams matching each other for plays that will make their coaches go crazy. I'm just saying, Maxey just had that pocket pass to nobody that went out of bounds. I think that's just a matter of playing together and knowing where each other are going to be.
Hey, but you make it up when you get a 5-second call on the inbound.
Jumper is good. Cole Anthony, as advertised thus far. I'm expecting some highlight reel plays at some point as well if he gets himself in the open court. Quinones, that was off, right off the fingertips. He knew that wasn't going in. Hurt, pushing back the other way. Three-pointer, and the Dominican want a timeout to talk it over. The lead's up to 13.
Well, if you saw right in front of us, Jason, Victor Hansen, the head coach of the Dominican Republic, turned around and asked for a timeout as that pass went out to Anthony. He didn't even shoot the ball yet. Hey, that's not a good rotation, and that is almost a high percentage shot. It's a three, but it's in rhythm. Anthony was wide open. And right about now, he'd call for the timeout. And that's a little bit too easy. You've got to be closed out, and you got to be on the catch, ready to contest that shot.
I haven't seen Joel Soriano in this second quarter. He was definitely a defensive anchor for the squad in the first quarter. The Dominican Republic have won 2 of the last 3 Centro Basket tournaments. And that's how they got into this tournament was winning it on their home soil back in 2017. But they have, it's interesting, at the senior men's groups, a lot of the times, the non-North American teams have an advantage because they have players that play together or against each other in their domestic leagues, so they know each other a little bit more, while Canada and the US have to come together over 2 weeks and put a team together. But now you see some of these teams like the Dominican Republic facing those same type of issues because all their kids now are playing in prep schools in the US.
And which they understand that they want these kids to be successful and don't necessarily have the resources yet to get them there. So they really almost encourage them to go get that experience.
First time we've seen Steven Verplanken in the game. That's where you want Frank. Couldn't finish. Oh, that's a jump ball. Verplanken immediately making an impact. Clean to tie that one up. Dominican have the possession arrow going their way. They'll get it back.
Got to keep going inside to Frank, though, because even though he looked a little out of control, I think his touches have been limited in the paint, and so he's going to get more comfortable when he gets the ball there. USA did a great job of rotating over and showing some help, but if Frank didn't kind of get a little freaked out and he just went up strong, I think he would have had at least a foul opportunity.
Oh.
Or that.
From downtown, Alonzo Frank. University of South Carolina commit cashes in. Ooh, calling a foul.
Call that over the back.
Frank called for the foul. He just helped cut the lead down to 10. Tough take on the baseline. Tyrese Maxey will go to the line once again. Going to Kentucky 2019 class. Well, Josiah James checks in for Matthew Hurt. And on the other side, David Jones checking in for the first time. Interesting, it took him a while to get in because he was their leading scorer in the FIBA U18 Americas Championship at 19 points per game. Just 16 years of age. He plays domestically in the Dominican. Frank pulls it down. Team USA is struggling a little bit from the line today. Verplanken to Jones, fresh off the bench. Misses everything, but Quinones comes down with it, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. That was the other thing Bill Self was saying, is getting used to the international whistle and the international contact. As I look down just past Bill Self, do believe Michigan head coach John Beilein down there as well.
Of course, Beilein rumored to be interviewing with the Pistons, but he
he
made his, which you love when coaches do that because it shows their commitment to a program.
Not a bad program to be committed to. Michigan, right?
So 2 Final Four coaches, at least from this past year, in the gym here in St. Catharines, Ontario. I mean, if you're a hoops fan and you're local, you've got to get in a seat here.
Great ball movement, but no finish. Yeah, I'm going to guess Beilein's here taking a look at Mark Watts Jr., who hasn't made his way onto the floor. I don't know if that's a little gamesmanship from Bill Self, not letting his competition see his player, or the guys he's looking after.
Well, they're not compromising gold medals and wins here.
Yeah, it's game 1, Amy.
Yeah, right.
Feeling out the competition. Oh, nice move by the kid.
Yeah, great job, and it was nice to see Elian Torres. He slipped inside and sealed off, got that inside position.
Frank tips it out. Quinones pushing for Plankin. Oh, nice look to the trailing Torres, but again, no finish. Nice take. Team USA, every time it looks like they're in a little bit of trouble, get in the open floor and cash two.
Well, they can score quickly in volumes, and the pace is so quick that they want to play with.
Frank backed him down from the three-point line, drops two, goes to the line for one more. Lonzo Frank using that caboose.
So strong. Again, if you like the bigs like myself, you just enjoy watching him play.
Curious to see, though, with the weight that he carries, in a good way, how his stamina is.
And that was against Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who just didn't have the strength to contest Frank. When you're defending a player like that, you have got to be so smart with your feet. You've got to do all your work with your feet, because when you get caught out of position and then you reach on top of the strength of Frank, you're looking at buckets, if not and ones, and we just saw that and one.
Dominican Republic down just 8 despite shooting under 30% from the field and under 20% from three. Two teams kind of getting their legs under them, trying to figure things out. I mean, it is a long tournament.
It is. I'm impressed with the USA, their defensive effort, because as much as this game, all these guys, they want to score. They want to score, but I think they've stepped up and done some nice things defensively and really gotten under the Dominican Republic. I mean, Frank is really just starting to warm up. He's gotten a couple baskets and he hit a three, but he's just starting to find his rhythm. And so they've done a nice job getting under and pressuring the Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic going through their players. Richard Nunez checking in for the first time. Haven't seen Soriano back into the game. Frank misses his attempt at the three-point play. Team USA just whipping the rock around. Plankin pulls it down, pushing back the other way. Forced that, pulls it out to Frank from downtown. Alonzo Frank.
Well, Josiah James hesitated on the closeout for some reason and just opened the window right away.
I mean, we haven't seen Frank with the blow-by yet. His game looks pretty simple. He either backs you down or he spots up and shoots that three.
He got to the rim once off the three and got to the free throw line because of it. So really, offensively, he's shown so many different looks, and that's why he has his full ride signed to South Carolina. He is going to make a big impact in the SEC.
White. Ooh, just pure Kobe White. I think Bill Self will be happy to see that. See somebody hitting something on the catch and shoot. Frank faked that pass again. Here comes the double. Big offensive rebound. Quinones sent back. Frank.
Frank's going to get called for a double dribble. But on that possession, you understand his mentality. He has the ball in his hands, he's going up because he leaned in on that his first attempt, and that's why he didn't get the call. When he leaned in, it was great defense from US, but even on the second one, he rips down that ball. There's one place he's trained to go, and that's to the hoop.
Kobe White calling out I. Running off the big cut screen. Keeps it himself. Ooh, great timing by Jones. Really liking David Jones thus far. looking pretty heavy out there, catching his breath whenever he can. James, nope. Quinones tried to bring it down, but it's going to go off USA. There's been a lot of things going the way of the Dominican Republic thus far. Flanking. Would have liked to see Verplanken keeping himself there, but almost turns it over. The Dominican get it back. Man, they're getting a ton of bounces their way, and the Dominican Republic are down just 6. And the strip. Jones. Ooh, he's been a spark plug off the bench ever since he hit the floor, but couldn't get that one to go. Grimes to the baseline, sent back by Nunez, and we're going back the other way. And Team USA is starting to look at their own bench, kind of wondering what's going on. Like, it hasn't felt like Team USA has been out of control of this game, but they're definitely not in control of it.
I think Argentina, the only time they get into big trouble is when they turn it over or have a bad miss, and USA can go the other way quickly. But when they're in the half court, they're doing okay defensively.
You know, the only shots I haven't liked from Frank have been these crossover step back jumpers.
Well, he's fading away from the hoop on those two, and it's not his strength. However, and you called it before, he's gassed right now. And mentally, this is where you got to get really tough. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. You got to get down the court and play on both ends. But when you play that type of physical game, it takes a little bit of an extra toll, as you're seeing with Frank.
You have to work that much harder to get your position. It's that much harder to get up and down the floor.
You can see him right there, kind of holding on to his jersey to help him keep upright.
He was looking at the bench. Looks like he got his number called. And you know, you wonder if that's why he's moving to those step backs a little bit more, because he is gassed, right?
Yeah, well, that's what happens, right? When you get tired, you don't want the contact. You don't want to get banged around.
But when you're tired, that's not the time you want to be fading away either, right? It'd be that much tougher. Free throws have been a story throughout this tournament thus far.
I believe the teams actually had their shoot-arounds this morning at an off-site location at the local university. And you wonder, too, if the rims are just a little bit, I don't know, not broken in or whatever it might be. But, yeah, free throws on all games. And a lot of misses around the hoop, too.
USA with a chance to get it back to a double-digit lead. Big-time shot. Tyrese Maxey from downtown. The Dominican Republic want to talk it over. For all the positives they'd had in this first half, they find themselves down 11.
Things can definitely change quick when you're playing teams that can score quickly, like the US of A. So, again, it's a good timeout. It's certainly going to help Alonzo Frink out, give him an extra breather.
For more information, visit olympiasportscamp.com.
You see Sunmu kicking it out to Maxey.
And a big miscommunication from Dominican Republic. You didn't see anyone calling or trying to close out or be there, be present. They kind of just watched the shot go up. And, hey, you still got a whole half of ball to play, and you're only down 11 points.
St. Catharines being so close to the U.S. border. Just see the coaching section filling up down there. I see FSU, I see MSU, I see Michigan. I believe Kansas State as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's an easy, nice domestic flight into Buffalo and a quick trip over the border.
Speaking of trip over the border.
That was a great charge. That was a great charge from Moulton.
1:34 to go here in the first half. Game number 3, day number 1. The first game for Team USA and the Dominican. They've gotten to work on the offensive glass. And my new favorite player, David Jones.
Yeah, he certainly has been the spark plug.
Wow, insult to injury. Stepped out of bounds before knocking knees.
And he tried to split on his first step, and his back foot caught the blind.
That negative step in the corners, I hear coaches talk about it all the time, and basketball trainers.
Well, that negative step anywhere, because you're transferring weight backwards, but when you're that quick and explosive,
like why
like
are
Maxey,
you going? Why are you moving back? Right?
Maxey probably gets away with it because of like the athlete he is, and he's going anywhere and beating a lot of people.
But that, especially on the sideline, especially in that corner, it's like it's the easiest way to turn over a ball. And I've just seen so many basketball trainers and coaches just losing their mind over it.
Well, the defense isn't really losing too much energy to generate the turnover.
Yeah.
It's unforced, and you're kind of just giving the ball away.
USA in the bonus now. So Dominican found themselves down double digits, now have an opportunity to chip away with the clock stopped. Maxey and Anthony. See, they're just trying to get it down low to Hurt. Or sorry, in the high post to Hurt. Ooh, that's deep. And that's cash money. Cole Anthony. Jones.
There's your boy. Yeah, big answer, right? That's how you, it's a dagger 3, and it looks like USA might take off with it and you come down and you hit another one in their face. I mean, Dominican Republic, again, they're not going to shy away, and they're certainly not intimidated.
Just fractions of a second between the shot clock and game clock, so Team USA can hold on for the final shot. Remember, that clock's going to run out anyways, so they can get it off now and feel safe. That's just what they do. Great execution in the final seconds to push the lead up to 9 for Team USA as Bill Self and Cole Anthony have a little chat as they head to the locker room. You know, on both sides, I bet you both teams feel pretty good about it. Team USA has been able to work through some things, get 10 guys onto the floor, still up 9, while the Dominican Republic have to feel good to still be within 9.
Right, I think they both have adjustments, and only a 9-point game. USA's going, hey, we can extend this lead. We've got to clean a couple things up. And well, the Dominican Republic saying the same thing. We got to take care of the ball, be a little bit more efficient on offense. And you're looking at it, I think it's going to be a good one down the stretch.
Absolutely. Second half action will be coming up in just a little bit as Team USA kicks off their defense of the FIBA U18 Americas Championship. And of course, they want a little bit of revenge, because I know it wasn't this squad, but they sat back and watched Canada win that U19 World Cup of basketball. So you know Team USA wants to come back here in the U18s and just remind everybody who is #1 in the world.
Yeah, of course, an opportunity. And when you wear the USA jersey, a little bit of extra pressure, expectation always put on you. Look at that, 40% from the free throws. So they left 7 on the line, Dominican Republic. There's your game right there. They're actually out rebounding the USA as well. So, I mean, that's encouraging. They're controlling the pace. They're trying to control the pace anyways by securing the ball.
+5 on the offensive glass, too.
Yeah.
Turnovers dead even. 10 turnovers for USA. I guess that'd be the one thing Bill Self will be pointing out to his squad. And, I get, a nice spread around of the offense for Team USA, while Frink has really been everything. But again, David Jones, that spark plug off the bench when they were looking for it, he really provided that for the Dominican Republic. And Yeah, I mean, Matthew Hurt had 10 in that first quarter, but really went 0-4 the rest of the way in the second quarter.
He's not on pace for 40 anymore.
No.
He said after the first quarter he was on pace for 40. But I mean, kudos to Dominican Republic for kind of zoning in on him and not letting him get the easy touches. He really didn't even get too many looks in that second quarter.
They were trying to get it to him in the high post there, and they were shutting it down with that zone defense. And I mean, when it comes down to Team USA, you know that they want to get out in the open floor. They want to try to get it done in transition. And, you know, when they got their points, that was the best way for them to do it. At the same time, the half-court offense, the extra passes have worked out well for Team USA thus far.
Well, there you go, shooting the gap and just using your length and also your high IQ to anticipate the pass. That's what a lot of these long guards have shown from US.
And you've heard time and time again, Bill Self has said, you know, the extra pass, make the extra pass. You know, they were working it around the arc fairly well, but it's amazing when your shots fall, it's a lot easier to be in the lead. As Team USA is up 9 at the half. We'll be back after about a 10-minute break, second half action. Day 1 of the Under-18 FIBA Americas Championship.
This crowd is going to be loud here. They really get behind the team.
World Cup qualifiers were meant to bring basketball home to the home nations.
Vargas drives in and scores. The party's on. Rosino fires in. On the putback. 4-on-1, back to Grass. Roll! It goes in for the dunk. It's Scola. Scola. Wow. So in, and Samus Reyes flies in for the dunk. What a play that is.
Right, that's what it means.
Great win for the Uruguayans.
Team USA with a 9-point lead. Heading into the third quarter, Dominican Republic, you know, really within striking distance, thanks in large part to Alonzo Frink.
Yeah, pace has not been an issue for the Dominican Republic. Look, they shot 36 shots and the US shot 35 shots. The difference is the Dominican is shooting at 33%, where the US is shooting at just under 49%. So the States, they've been a bit more efficient and maybe a little bit better with the shot selection, but it's not the pace that probably would fluster most teams playing against the US, just the efficiency.
We see the Dominican Republic sending Joel Soriano back out. He had 2 fouls in the first half, and I guess the Dominican figured if they can stay close, they want to make sure that their rim protector is available for the entire second half, and he starts the third quarter. Number 33 in white, Joel Soriano. With the rock right now, Rafael Rubel. There's Frink, the aforementioned. That was a terrible entry pass, but the US cannot capitalize, although they almost did right there. Soriano chases it down, stepped out of bounds. Head coach Bill Self, who I'm sure talked about the 10 turnovers by the USA in the first half. And down on the USA corner down there is where the coaches have come together. A number of NCAA coaches, also some NBA scouts in attendance.
And that's a nice strong read underneath from Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Went up through about 2 players. You see him right there, duck in and get his position. Couple little fakes.
Soriano has to check right back out. Picks up his 3rd foul under a minute into the third quarter. Not exactly what head coach Victor Hansen wanted to see after protecting his big man, having him sit down for the entire second quarter.
Yeah, he only played 9 minutes and 22 seconds in that first half. Alonzo Frink played 18 minutes, 25 seconds, so he led all players in terms of minutes played. And big body, that's a tough task.
He had a minute 35 rest.
Yeah.
That's plenty.
Yeah, and he's getting hit almost every time down the court. He's feeling something.
Either he's dishing it out or he's on the receiving end, that's for sure. Another guy who played some huge minutes, Quinones. Gives it to Frink. Go to the line, shoot 2.
And you even see the post footwork from the perimeter with the quick spin. He felt the body of Hurt and tried to split the defender who was not in position. You look at the quick spin, saw the lane, went to the hoop, and maybe if Jeremiah Robinson Earl had rotated over a bit quicker and established position, he was in position to take a charge. But he didn't do it, so Frink took advantage.
Money on the first. And the second. Seems like every time you look up, the Dominicans down 9. They're down 7. They're staying in it, but they can't get past that 2-possession block. Hurt.
And against that 2-on-2 zone, the U.S. was able to enter inside to Hurt that time. But it's almost, you draw the defense in, kick it out, repost, reseal, get that ball moving against the zone.
Once again, opportunity to get into a 2-possession game, but Frink couldn't get it to go. Oh, Grimes, love that dime, dropping it the way of Robinson Earl.
A nice weak side cut from the top too. That's a high post cut. Always deadly when you can slip it behind.
And here's Team USA in the open floor. That's a low percentage shot on a 3-on-1 to take.
Yeah, floater. Tried to use the backboard, didn't quite get the touch. So
exactly.
if you're Dominican Republic, you say thank you.
Yeah, you definitely dodged a bullet there, because again, the USA is just a couple of possessions away from pulling away in this one, but have not been able to do it. But at the same time, the Dominican have not been able to get to within 2 possessions really through this entire game. Quinones. Frink. He's got hurt on him. Considering how easily we saw Frink back down multiple defenders, the face-up game gets him to the line.
He's been successful now on a couple possessions early in the second half, taking from the high post. Hurt's having a hard time with the foot speed, and then when you get in the key, I don't know anyone, I've yet to see someone in this tournament that is going to go pound for pound and match up with Frink. And that's what you hope he does, is miss free throws.
Misses them both. Grimes, no good. Hurt just had that fall into his lap. And now he earns himself a trip to the charity stripe.
That's a great way to get touches when defenses really try to take the ball out of your hands like they have done with Matthew Hurt. You work hard on the offensive glass, and with his length and high IQ, because a couple times now tonight he's gotten the weak side touches off of offensive rebounds. And it's a great way to keep yourself in the game a little bit. In 2018 USA Today, all Minnesota first team. And a lot of these guys on USA get those type of recognitions. It's, you look at the map and they're from all over, and they're all the top players in their regions.
Just full of 5- and 4-star recruits. So many players on their list, you know, getting ready for their collegiate careers and couldn't commit the time needed to play in this tournament. Dominican again earning their way to the line. They got to make these count.
And that's Baycott this time. So it's almost like next man up. Someone's got to step up and try to stop Alonzo Frink.
I just keep sending him to the line.
You see him shaking his head too. We've seen him hit threes. He's capable. He can shoot the ball.
Absolutely. There we go. Three minutes into this third quarter.
And sometimes you wonder, when players are used to playing in high school gyms or even college, the depth perception is a little bit different behind the backboard, and the gyms that they have been shooting around in do not have this type of setting where there's that depth behind the backboard. You wonder if a little bit of that comes into play.
Absolutely. Playing in arenas like this are much different. And again, we talked about Dominican only practiced together for about a week before heading up here, and where they were practicing was nothing like this facility.
Well, and even the USA training camp, they had it down to 18 probably about 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah.
So, and it's tough to get from 18 to 12. That's probably the toughest cuts that you make because there's so many different talented players. It's almost assembling your puzzle pieces together to find the fit. But also that team's named maybe 2 or 3 days before they get on a plane and get up to Canada.
They don't really have a lot of time to figure it out here. 3 games, 3 days, off day, then 3 games, 3 days.
And when you're the U.S., everyone's coming hard. Yeah. Everyone's trying to put their best game out against you. Oh, what a pass from Frink.
Hurt lead the charge, and it's big caught. The trailer crushing it home in transition. USA up 15. We're flanking. Frank, cross court. Tough shot. Oh, big time follow. Elian Torres with the tip in.
And that's just basic fundamentals. You got to box out. You got to find somebody, put a body on him.
Ooh. Maxey just had a free lane to the rim. Quinones. For flanking. Ball fake. Ooh, that's going to be a travel. I think the two officials were just wondering which one of them was going to call it. They both had the same call.
And David Jones back in the game here, and he did a fantastic job, like you alluded to a couple times, just bringing energy to his team. Only played 6.5 minutes in that first half, but it felt like he was on the court a lot longer than that.
That was an efficient 6.5 minutes.
You're right, 5 points. But also, you look at the box score, and it wasn't that stuck out. It was the energy and just the ability to really pick his team up at some key possessions.
You know, the youngest on this Dominican squad, so I'm going to guess that his coach is trying to temper how much he gives the kid in game number 1. For flanking again with that ball fake, but airs it out. Oh, all kinds of numbers for Team USA. Cole Anthony, easy two, and timeout for the Dominican Republic. Midway point of the third quarter. It's starting to get away from the DR. They're down 17.
And that's basic communication. You have to have somebody back, which is going to prevent, obviously, the leak out for the USA, and that time a miscommunication from the Dominican Republic.
And I think head coach Victor Hansen's feeling to get away from him a little bit. He's bringing Joel Soriano back in despite those 3 fouls. Can't protect him for that much longer. You need him out there to protect at the rim and give you a little bit of size.
And you look at the field goals again, and it's just the percentage. It's a big, big difference. And even the USA, that they've dropped a bit since halftime, shooting closer to 50 by the half. But you look at the attempts, and there you go. The attempts are the same, but capitalizing on fast break opportunities is the USA.
Dominican still getting it done on the offensive glass.
And you can have the ball in your hands as long as you want, but the point is you have to score, and that's the issue here with the Dominican Republic, because you look at some of these stats where they have the same amount of attempts, they're rebounding the ball, but they've got to put the ball in the hoop, and that was the last one there. You saw the numbers advantage. There's 4 dark jerseys, and I saw 2 white ones in that clip, and that's kind of the story right now.
USA still throwing some pressure the way of the Dominican. Verplanken gets through it. Jones. Tripped up on his way to the basket. Jones' opportunity to cut this lead down from 17.
And missed free throws are just, they're so frustrating.
See it a lot in this age group as well, and I'm sure it's, you see it at every age. Obviously, players get better at free throws as they get older, but that is really the X factor when you talk about this age group. Is if you have a team that can shoot even 75% from the free throw line, you're going to end up in the winning side a lot more often than the other teams. Maxey, that was deep. Offensive rebound and putback, no good, but there for the tip in. Mondo Bicat Jr. Jones Foul called.
Again, Jones getting to the free throw line. We already spoke about him being the youngest player on this roster, which you have to love. You could be the youngest, and coming into a program like this and playing with some players that are going big places, it's intimidating. Of course it is. But what you can control is your effort and hustle when you're given court time. And David Jones has come in, and he hasn't been intimidating. I mean, yeah, look at you got 4 American defenders around you, and you still find a way to get to the hole. He's right now he's got a bit of heart of a lion.
Splits the pair. Maxi. Sunmu. Saved by the Dominican Republic. Soriano to Verplanken. Tough pass behind Jones. You want to lead the player in that situation, but threw it behind him.
I mean, the glass half full, again, it's a dead ball turnover, but that kills you right there. Empty possession into a 3. And I mean, it's a 20-point game, but there's a lot of basketball to play.
Jones down low to Frink. Soriano, Cash. Ayo, the Sunmu. Soriano. Verplanken pushing it, finds Jones. Tough pass. And I see Alonzo Frink getting a little frustrated, I think, with his young teammate. It's not good for anybody. But Joel Soriano, I'll tell you right now, there is a couple of coaches down in the NCAA corner down there that are writing down Joel Soriano's name right now. Those are the type of players that NCAA coaches love. Those diamonds in the rough that no one else really knows about.
Big answer right there.
Soriano hit the jumper, block on the other end, comes back, drops a little hook. Changes the shot there, but they caught all over the glass.
And that was Frink who missed the block out. The block out.
Yeah, not great body language right now out there. Nice take. Go to the line.
You're right, that was a nice take and found a nice line. Lester Quinones, but he's been very quiet in the second half. USA probably spoke about that in the locker room at halftime. Lock him up because he's been very quiet.
Quinones. Gets the first. And the second. 1:44 to go here in the third quarter. Team USA opening up their U18 FIBA Americas defense. Took them a while to get going, but they look to have found their rhythm. Well, Dominican getting to work on the defensive end. And a foul by Mark Watts. First time we've seen him today. Detroit product. USA back in the bonus.
Joel Soriano. And you have to wonder what you've seen in the last probably 3 or 4 possessions with his activity on both ends of the court. You have to wonder what this game would be looking like right now if he did not get into that early foul trouble, because he has been effective as of late.
You hear the Dominican fans getting into this one. Oh, and And the silencer right there.
Yeah, that's how you quiet the fans up a little bit. You attack the rim and you draw up the N1 against a much bigger Soriano.
Ayo Sunmu go to the line, looking to make it a three-point play. Frank, hope he enjoyed his 30-second breather. Finds himself back out on the floor for the final minute plus of the third quarter.
You're down 19 if you're Dominican Republic. You hope you can get it to 15 or so before the end of the quarter. It's just short-term goals, close the gap up in scoring, but you've got to score, you've got to be efficient on the offensive end.
Pushing it back the other way. Jones takes it at the rim and finishes. Playing with confidence out there is the 16-year-old. Closeout. Offensive rebound by USA.
And Watts Jr. getting bailed out by Kobe White for getting that rebound, because that's an ill-advised shot. And Kobe White also not only gets the offensive rebound, but gets to knock the possession out with a three.
Shot clock is off. The Dominican Republic looking to cut this lead to 17 or 18 through three. From range, big time shot, Jones. Well, Dominican Republic got down to 17 through three. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this quick break. Stay with us on FIBA's YouTube channel. Fourth quarter about to get underway here at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario. The under-18 FIBA Americas Championship. Just day one of 6 spread out from now until Saturday. All these teams getting to know each other, also getting to know themselves a little bit. Jason Tom here alongside Amy Audibert. Oh, that could have been something nasty. Earlier we had Canada's Addison Patterson putting a man on a poster. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure you find that online.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the play of the day as of right now. I know there's another game coming up next.
Be hard to top that.
That's a hard to top. That's the way to open strong. But now Argentina or Dominican Republic, they have got to get the ball in the hands of Frank, or the young man carrying right now has got to do something. Those are their two vets, their leaders, they're talented players. You're down 17, there you go. That's the look at least you want. Frink diving and a nice crash.
Those are the turnovers Bill Self talked to us about before the game.
Just unforced, no pressure, just turning it out of bounds. And that pumps Dominican Republic up just as much as a dunk or a three. It's an unforced turnover.
And Bill Self calls a timeout just over 30 seconds in, but this is the Bill Self you know from the NCAA. He is not worried about taking those early timeouts, but everything you said there, you wanted the two vets, Quinones and Frink, to be involved. They hooked up there, they missed, but the key is that there was another player from the Dominican there, because he can't stand around and just watch those two go to work, right?
No, and that's how they're gonna chip away. You've gotta get touches to the guys that are expected to get touches. And if you're US, there's a chess match, right? You counter it. You try not to let them touch the ball and get the looks. But, you know, you're down 16, 15. And you got to be efficient on offense. So US really helping Dominican out a bit, giving them that ball back right now. It's big possession right now for Dominican Republic to come out and respond. You look at the bench points, it's not surprising that the USA has 31 because of the rotation and the depth they have.
It's funny to see the body language here too. Team USA walks right over and just kind of waits for Dominican to come out, saying we're ready for whatever you got.
It probably wasn't too long of a chat at that timeout. I mean, you know what you got to do, and it's not turn the ball over, and especially unforced.
Bonilla, Quinones, behind the back, gets cut off though. Team USA, when it comes to man-on-man defense, they are D'ing up right now. Nothing easy. Look at the bodies flying, and the basket and the bump. Julio Pascual.
Well, that is the same player that had slashed and got the offensive rebound. That comes off a weak side rebound. Again, nice, uses his length to get to the rim. Smart basketball and just hustle plays.
The Dominican supporters in attendance are amped up right now. Their team's down 13. That free throw would have helped. Team USA looking for something. Working some two-man game. Maxey now. Cole Anthony exploding to the rim. Stick back jam. Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Oh, and the steal. Grimes. Ooh, lost it on his way up, but still finishes. Oh, just a painful turnover for the Dominican Republic, and USA turns it into an easy two. Grimes up top.
And there's no point in calling timeouts there, because what do? It's just, the Dominican Republic, they're doing it to themselves, right? They're just not taking care of the ball, and just like that, all the momentum shifts right back to the USA.
They had a chance to get it to 12 if they had made that free throw, and all of a sudden they find themselves down 19. Margin of error when you're playing Team USA is slim to none. And that was a perfect example right there, that minute that changed everything right there.
And another little tip and back to the USA. Empty possessions in the fourth quarter when you're down double digits.
Maxey was looking back door, but it was cut off. Cole Anthony. Ooh, tough take and finish.
Yeah, that's big time. Finding gaps, getting to the rim. One of their leaders, Bill Self will tell you probably the most vocal guy. Not a very vocal team, but out of everyone, Cole Anthony probably speaks and leads the most through his voice, but also right now by example. Yeah, it's just a take. Does a nice job with the screen, pulling back and then exploding. It's that retreat, explode past the defense, and no rotations over.
Wow. All the wheels are coming off for the Dominican Republic right now.
Yeah, the time of possession on this end of the court into the offensive end for the U.S. has been quite great as of late. Argentina just cannot get into any kind of offensive flow.
Oh, what a nice move into the lane from Anthony.
Cole Anthony looks like he's just playing right now. He's just having fun, and Argentina's got to step up and at least slow him down, make someone else do something.
Yeah, you're not going to get bailed out from that call at this point of the game. And then Maxi goes the other way, stick back, not going to count. So one of our cameramen get taken out on the baseline.
And unfortunately for the Dominican Republic, the body language has gone down quite a bit, and it's a direct correlation with lazy passes or soft passes, not crisp enough. And when you play teams like dogs, like hungry dogs like the USA, just because they're up, they're not going to coast. They have that mentality ingrained, and you're seeing right now, they're not going to slow down.
Bill Self has to be happy now. He'll have an opportunity to have his team work on some things.
Oh, lots of things. You know, head coach is never satisfied.
Leads now up to 26. Still keeping that pressure on. Pull it back. Rebel. Offensive foul on Torres.
Illegal screen.
Cole Anthony. High-low, hurt the Robinson Earl, that was easy.
And what was fantastic about that was it was the angle to the entry. The guard didn't have the angle on the side. He made the pass to top to Hurt, who did. That's great communication and moving the ball.
Soriano sent back. Cole Anthony, the point guard, coming through with the weak side help, and he goes up top. Quentin Grimes, alley-oops, throwdown. USA starting to stunt on him, up 30.
Like you said, you talk about leaders by example. Cole Anthony rotating for the block and then throwing the lob, doing a lot of little things to kind of get his teammates back or helping them out.
Rebel, range, no good. Soriano battling for it. Rebel gets it back, spin into the lane, go to the line to shoot two.
And here's your alley-oop look. Great point guard, right? Perfect place, perfect time.
Yeah, Cole Anthony had the swat and then brought it up court, put it up on a platter for Grimes to devour.
Well, these guys know when you're running in transition and they have a lane to the net like that, and you can connect with a point guard, they're going to give you the ball.
Maxi, Hurt.
And another cleanup there from Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who's been really active the last couple minutes around the hoop, and he's been heavily rewarded because he's knocking up some points.
Got it back, Erasmus. There we go. Elian Torres started to get it going here in the fourth quarter. Right now, it's Dominican just trying to find some things that work for them as they move forward here in Group A action. Maxey from downtown. Midway point of the fourth quarter.
Well, and even that possession, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl had the one-on-one look, but he kicked it out. You know, he had a couple looks already. Now he's sharing the ball. That's how you make your guards happy, right? You kick it back out and give them opportunities too.
Head coach Victor Hansen wants a timeout. Leads up to 33. Again, this is game 3 on day 1. Have one more tonight at 8:15.
When you saw a bunch of subs come in for US. So now is where you start getting all those guys in. You get them. Not only obviously are you concerned about the legs in game 1 out of 6 games in 7 days, but also just getting those guys touches on the floor, getting them used to running up and down in the stadium. That's a great opportunity for the guys who are a little bit deeper in the rotation to get out there and show some work. Like you said, there's college coaches. Hey, that's what happens when you go up like this much.
After this game, you got Panama and Puerto Rico as your nightcap. Things start up bright and early tomorrow at 11:30. As Team Canada gets back on the floor against Ecuador, who put a scare into Chile earlier today, but Chile held true and ended up winning that game by 12.
Well, Dominican Republic, like you said in that 2017 U17 Centro Basket tournament, they had wins over Puerto Rico and Panama, so they have to be confident about other teams they are going to see in this tournament.
Anytime you draw Team USA as your first game of the tournament, I guess there's two ways to look at it, right? You're not going to get off to a great start, or maybe get that one out of the way. And they have had some positives. They've seen some players who they expected to do what they did. They've had the 16-year-old David Jones give them some good minutes. Oh, Soriano. Telling you. Get this kid on your scouting report.
Yeah,
Joel
right.
Soriano.
Well, and you notice Frank and Quinonez both on the bench right now, and that's that strategy. We've got a lot of games to play. Down quite a bit in the fourth quarter, pretty late, so now you're thinking ahead to your next game a little bit. Again, almost like the US, same thing. You're getting guys later in your rotation on the floor, get them some minutes.
It's Kobe White from downtown. Oh yeah, you knew Soriano was going to take this upon himself. He wants to try to show his game out there and see what he can do. Watch, drops it off. Kobe White into the lane. No good. Soriano pulls it down. Immediately looks for his guard. That's Rubel.
And Rubel has to be conscious. No one picked him up. And Watch Jr. was right in the passing lane, and so that's an easy tip, right? You almost just initiate something. You gotta make someone come out and guard you.
From downtown. Bonija. And back the other way. Call him Rocket Watts. It's the first time we've seen USA big man Kamaka Hepa. He's going to Texas. But God almost threw down his own miss. Bonija. Erasme. Rubel. Eight on the shot clock. Turnover. Watts.
Yeah, and that's being called intentional. You see what Argentina's doing? They're slowing down. They're trying to run through their sets. They're trying to still gain that experience. Unfortunately, again, another unforced turnover, almost a fumble with the ball for Argentina. And you can see the wraparound. So that's where they're getting the intentional.
Watts out of Detroit, Michigan. He's got Michigan and MSU standing there along the baseline.
Just finished his junior year in high school, averaging 27 a game. I'm sure his speed and athleticism flusters quite a few players. He's doing it right now on the national stage. Can you imagine what he does in the high school level?
Absolutely. There's Watts.
Yeah, and there you go, speed, athleticism, and then also the right read. Nice little floater kiss right over the rim.
I mean, we didn't see him in the first half at all. He's just, somebody that Bill Self can pull off the bench in the second half. Not bad coming in with that kind of speed. Pasquale will go to the line and shoot two.
Foul on Team USA, number 8, Josiah Jordan Jones. Dominican Republic, number 6, Julio Pasquale. Shooting three.
Once again, we thank you for joining us on FIBA's YouTube channel. Jason Tom here alongside Amy Audibert. Oh, White step back, no good. There's the big man, nice move, Kamaka Hepa.
Taking his talents to Shaka Smart, Texas. That's a nice program too.
Oh, Watts could not put it on target. Dominican get some positive vibes to finish out this game. So we inch up under a minute left here in the fourth.
And just much like the Dominican is trying to run through their sets and clean them up and execute his 33-point game with a minute left, not much are doing, but also you can see the USA doing the same thing, trying to run through their sets, execute some of the guys that aren't necessarily in the top of the rotation, showing that they can do it too.
Again, winners today so far in Group B, Chile and Canada. While Team USA will take home this win.
Possession, Team USA.
Oh, didn't finish, but what a quick step.
Oh, nice hustle underneath from Hepa, getting his own miss.
I guess if you sat on the bench for 3.5 quarters and you get your number called in the fourth, you're going to come out trying to make an impact.
He got a little burn in the first half too. He got a great frame at 6'9". Yeah, at 6'9". Actually, originally from Alaska. Now playing 2018 Gatorade Oregon Player of the Year.
So look across and see Oregon Ducks assistant coach Mike Menega here in attendance as well. Downtown, Richard Nunez checking in. shots cook or what?
Yeah, but he can get to the rim at will. He is so
Absolutely.
quick. And his teammates have got to know that and be present with their hands and sit down and wait for a pass. He draws so much defense in.
An ovation for the Americans as Team USA starts their under-18 FIBA Americas title defense with a win. 105-73 your final. Dominican Republic hung tough through 3 quarters in this one. They definitely showed us a lot. They have some weapons out there, and I'm sure we will be seeing them get into the win column soon enough in Group A.
Yeah, it's a nice win for the USA because it wasn't just one guy taking over. You saw everyone had their moments, and really they all had their moments when they were given opportunity, which is it's a nice thing to see, not only for Bill Self, but the entire program. They pick guys that are hungry to win and play, and again, they'll probably celebrate this win for another minute or two. These are quick flip games, and you've already said it, everyone gives their best against the USA, and the Dominican Republic, they had their opportunities to kind of tie it up. They've got some talent and good players. It's just a matter of keeping that consistent the whole way through.
105-73 Team USA with the win over the Dominican Republic. This smaller US squad really didn't seem like they were missing any size. And when you're talking about the point guard position, Cole Anthony really did it all from the 1 spot for this squad, setting the table for others and scoring on his own as well. I mean, when Team USA puts up 105 points, you know that their starting point guard did something right.
And it almost seemed end of 3rd quarter, he just said, you know what, guys, all right, let's go. Let's put this one away. It was 15-17, and he made a couple big plays, and you're extended to 20, 25 points, and it really sucked the life out of the Dominican Republic.
Anthony is really a do-everything point guard, can finish at the rim, but also can hit from range. But, I mean, it was the way that he ran this team, a team that really hasn't been together for long and really doesn't have that FIBA experience. He really was a calming factor for them.
He did. He can hit outside, but where I really think he excels is when he attacks the rim and finds the open gap. He's so athletic, great ball handler, and a nice decision maker too.
Out of New York is Cole Anthony. You know, we'd mentioned that this Team USA squad, heavy on the perimeter, can get it going from a number of different players. They were worried about the turnovers and trying to get things together as a team. They were able to overcome that early. I think Bill Self probably liked the fact that they overcame a little bit of adversity in their first game of the tournament. But in the end, it was an easy win for Team USA, and Panama and Puerto Rico take the floor right now for our 4th and final game on day number 1. Once again, we thank you for joining us here, the FIBA YouTube channel. And really, when it comes down to it, when you talk about Team USA, it's players buying into their roles, buying into the team situation, and Cole Anthony is a perfect example of that, and we have him post-game right now.
So Cole, it was kind of a slow start for you guys in the first half, but you guys really picked it up in the third and really found your way. Would you attribute that to rust, or what adjustments did you guys make at halftime?
It was just a matter of us getting used to playing with each other. I mean, we've obviously have not been together that long, and that was our first actual real game. So as the game went on, the team started to glue together, and we were able to find our way to just win that game and just get a roll.
Can you tell me what it's like to be coached under Bill Self, such a respected coach?
I mean, it's an honor that really most kids will never get in their lifetime, to be coached by a coach of that level, and it's just a blessing. You just have to go out there and absorb all the knowledge you can from him at all times.
And for yourself, 18 points tonight on over 50% shooting. What did you see out there to allow you to get such easy buckets?
I was just able to, thanks to my teammates, I was just able to find my role and get some easy buckets. They got me open, I got them open, so I just really want to thank my teammates for that. It was all them.
Just quickly before I get out of here, how badly do you want Canada this year?
We need it. We need it.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Appreciate it.
Yes, Team USA looking to defend their title and also get a little bit revenge for that Under-19 World Cup Championship loss. In the semifinals, Game 4, Panama and Puerto Rico will be up after a short break. Jason Tom signing off for Amy Audibert. We will talk to you tomorrow morning, but we got one more today, so stay with us here at the Under-18 FIBA Americas Championship.